What's up, guys? I'm back with another review for Star Wars: The Bad Batch. To sum it up, this is the next season of Clone Wars, right? Same animation, same type of stories, and it features characters that were even in that series. My first impression of the first two episodes was actually really good. It started off very strongly, though the second episode probably wasn't my favorite. It felt like filler, if I'm being honest. But to those that, haven't seen it yet, essentially this story starts off right before Order 66 takes place. You see the aftermath and what these clones personally have to go through once that order takes place. And because they are the Bad Batch, they are the defects, they aren't as indoctrinated, or at least aren't controlled by that order like the other clones. They still have some free will and even disobey Order 66 at times. The series starts off strong with the Bad Batch going back to Kamino and figuring it out, for lack of better words. Seeing their brothers act weird, understanding why they're acting weird, figuring out about the chip, etc. And introducing us to a new character that is evidently a clone as well, another of the Bad Batch. During this first episode, you see Tarkin, another good cameo, come in and evaluate the clones and assess their ability for the needs of the Empire. And for me, for this first episode to have even that subtext to it, was really cool to see. That is a storyline and an arc that I'm very interested going in through the series. The Bad Batch eventually learned that the Republic is no longer alive, is no longer there, and the Empire is going to do whatever it wants to do. They get tested, they get thrown in jail, right? They can tell that their home world is no longer Kamino. That home world is no longer safe for them. We get introduced to a new character, and she is evidently another one of the Bad Batch that they decide to take with her going forward. First episode was very strong, had lots of good cameos from characters from within the Star Wars universe, both the show and the movies. So it was a great start to the series, and setting up the great subplots of the Empire's use of clones versus why the clones or the Bad Batch are not following orders, and even one of their own being possibly a villain coming up in the future. And the best part, it was an hour-long episode. It didn't rush through these things. So, heading into the second episode, we really get introduced to the Star Wars universe again through the eyes of a child and the new member of their team. Finding out about dirt, finding out about Star Wars light speed or warp speed, whatever you want to call it, and going through, the same treaded material as the first episode, as in, should they bring a child with them on their missions, that being the Bad Batch team? Of course, the answer is always no, but through the means of events, they decide to take her with them, and the story proceeds. This episode wasn't my favorite, but it did set up even more so some of the good plots and villains that were alluded to in the first episode, that being one of their team members that was actually indoctrinated by Order 66. Get another returning character from the Clone Wars series, albeit a little smaller, but nonetheless cool to see. And we get to see Saw Gerrera, finally not looking decrepit, and maybe being part of the show going forward. But besides those little nuggets of cameos, the episode was But to recap the highlights so far, we get to see cameos on cameos on cameos. We get the subplot of Order 66 and the meaning of why or what happened to the clones after the Empire came to be. The Bad Batch get hunted by one of their own because of Order 66 and indoctrination, and who this member of their team is and what they were created for. So if that's enough to make you interested in the series, I definitely recommend you watch it. But seeing as this was made for fans with characters that are deeply embedded in the lore of the Clone Wars, if you're not familiar with the Clone Wars, it may not be too interesting for you. Thank you guys for watching. Like, comment, subscribe. As the series progresses, I'll make another review video, maybe going over the series in total, or at its halfway point, depending on the length and number of episodes. Y'all have a good one. Peace.